Hey guys, this looks like a fun one. We're given 5 to the x plus y minus 2 power equals 10. Looks like the equal sign is in the exponent. That's funny. And we're also given that 5 to the power of x minus y plus 3 equals 50. And it wants us to find what is 5 to the power of x. This is day 6 of our internet challenge week. And now we're going to do this one. If you want to try it on your own, pause it right now because I'm going to solve it in 3, 2, 1. First, let's take the two things that we're given and let's multiply this row times this row. So on the left-hand side, it'll be 5 to the power of x plus y minus 2 times 5 to the power of x minus y plus 3. And on the right-hand side, it's going to be 10 times 50. And now we can simplify things a little bit. So now using these notes for exponents, anytime you have x to the power of a times x to the power of b, that's the same thing as x to the power of a plus b. So 5 to the power of this times 5 to the power of this would be 5 to the power of this plus this. And on the right-hand side, 10 times 50 is equal to 500. Next, let's copy everything down and rearrange it like this. Up here, this positive y and this negative y can cancel each other out. Negative 2 plus 3 is equal to positive 1, and x plus x is equal to 2x. So on the left-hand side, we have 5 to the power of 2x plus 1. And on the right-hand side, we still have 500. Next, using these notes, anytime you have x to the power of a plus b, you can rewrite that as x to the a times x to the b. Or in this case, we have 5 to the power of 2x plus 1. We can rewrite that as 5 to the power of 2x times 5 to the power of 1. And that'll still be equal to 500. And now to get rid of this, we can divide both sides of the equation by 5. On the left-hand side, this 5 and this 5 are going to cancel each other out. So we have 5 to the power of 2x. And on the right-hand side, 500 divided by 5 is 100. So we're trying to solve for 5 to the power of x. Right now, we have 5 to the power of 2x. 2 times x is the same thing as x times 2, so we can rearrange it like this. And then using these notes, we're not going to change anything if we put the 5 to the power of x in parentheses. And now to get the 5 to the power of x all by itself, we can take the square root of both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, the square root and the square are going to cancel each other out, leaving us with 5 to the power of x. And on the right-hand side, the square root of 100 is equal to 10. So you could also come up with 5 to the power of x equals negative 10, but 5 to the power of x will never be a negative number. So negative 10 is not valid, so we end up with 5 to the power of x is equal to 10. That is the answer to our question. Let's put a box around it. Next, they didn't ask for 5 to the power of y, but I want to see if we can find it. Let's copy down the top row, and then using these notes, we can rewrite it like this. 5 to the power of the quantity x plus y minus 2 is equal to 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of y times 5 to the power of negative 2. And that's still going to be equal to 10. I want to try to solve for this 5 to the power of y, so let's copy that down. And then 5 to the power of x we know is equal to 10. And then for the 5 to the power of negative 2, anytime you have a negative exponent, it means you put it in the denominator. So this 5 to the negative 2 is the same thing as a 5 squared in the denominator. And then all of this is still going to be equal to 10. Next, we can do 5 squared, which is equal to 25. And for the 10 divided by the 25, each of these are divisible by 5. So we can simplify this into 2/5. Next, to get rid of the 2/5, we can multiply both sides of the equation by 5 over 2. On the left-hand side, the 5 over 2 and the 2 over 5 are going to cancel each other out. So we're going to be left with 5 to the power of y. And then on the right-hand side, 10 times 5 over 2, we can change the 10 into 10 over 1 and multiply across. 10 times 5 is equal to 50, and 1 times 2 is equal to 2. 50 divided by 2 is equal to 25, and now we have 5 to the power of y. It's equal to 25. This is the answer to our follow-up question. Let's put a box around it. And now we've solved this internet mathematical challenge. 5 to the x is equal to 10. How exciting. And now we've solved all of these except this one. We have 16 to the power of x minus 1 over 4 to the power of x minus 1 equals 3. And it wants us to solve for x. This is definitely going to be a fun one. How exciting.